The training hall fell silent as Maya Reeves stepped onto the combat mat. Instructor Krell, a 7-foot vaccine warrior with scales that shimmered like polished obsidian, regarded her with the same dismissive glance he gave all human cadets. In the Galactic Defense Academy, humans were the newcomers, the species that had stumbled into the intergalactic community barely 50 years ago, still clumsy with technology that other races had mastered for millennia. "Begin," Krell hissed, his forked tongue tasting the air. Maya shifted her weight, and then something strange happened. She moved left a full second before Krell's clawed hand whistled through the space where her head had been. The vaccine's eyes widened in surprise, but he recovered quickly, launching a spinning kick that should have caught her ribs. Maya was already rolling away, her body responding to attacks that hadn't quite materialized yet. The other cadets murmured. The holographic display above the arena flickered, data streaming across its surface in alien script. A Threxian technician's antenna quivered as he studied the readouts. Krell pressed harder, his strikes becoming a blur of calculated violence. But Maya flowed around each one like water around stones, her movements impossibly precise. She wasn't faster than him, the biomechanical sensors confirmed that. She was just always in the right place, always moving a heartbeat before she needed to. "Cease." Krell's voice cracked like a whip. Maya stopped, her chest heaving, sweat beading on her forehead. She didn't look tired from the dodging. She looked exhausted from something else entirely, like she'd been listening to a frequency no one else could hear. The vaccine instructor's tail lashed in frustration. "Explain." I don't know, sir." Maya's voice was steady, despite her confusion. "I just knew where you were going to be." The Threxian technician scuttled forward, his multi-jointed legs clicking on the floor. "Instructor Krell, the system has flagged an anomaly." The human subject demonstrated pre-event awareness. She reacted to your strikes 0.8 to 1.2 seconds before neural impulses were sent to your motor cortex. The training hall erupted in chatter. Pre-event awareness was theoretically possible quantum probability fields, temporal echo reading, precognitive neural mapping, but it had never been documented in any sentient species. It was the stuff of legends and bad science fiction. "Impossible," Krell growled. "Run the diagnostic again." They did, 3 more times, with different instructors, different combat scenarios, different variables. Each time, the results were the same. Maya Reeves was somehow perceiving events before they occurred, operating on a timeline slightly ahead of everyone else. By evening, the Academy's High Council had assembled. Representatives from a dozen species sat in a semicircle, their varied forms creating a bizarre tapestry of galactic diversity. Maya stood in the center, feeling very small and very human. Commander Alice, a Celestian whose crystalline form refracted light into rainbows, spoke first. "Miss Reeves, do you understand the implications of what we've observed?" "No, ma'am," Maya admitted. "I thought everyone did this." A ripple of laughter or its equivalent passed through the council, but it wasn't mocking. It was nervous. "Your species," Thalis continued, "has been classified as a mid-tier intelligence, adequate physical capabilities, moderate cognitive function, emotionally volatile. But this changes everything." Over the next weeks, the testing intensified. Maya wasn't alone anymore. They brought in other humans, dozens of them, from every corner of Earth. Military personnel, athletes, artists, even a grandmother from Nebraska named Helen, who'd never left her hometown. They put them through the same protocols. The results shook the galactic community to its core. 37% of humans tested positive for pre-event awareness. 37%. The ability manifested differently in each person. Some could dodge physical threats. Others could predict verbal responses. A few could sense emotional shifts before they occurred. Helen from Nebraska could tell you what you were going to order at a restaurant before you'd looked at the menu. That the Celestian scientist had a theory. They called it temporal intuition syndrome. But the humans had a simpler name for it: gut feeling. Humans, it turned out, had been doing this forever. They'd just never realized it was unique. The premonition that made you check on a sleeping child seconds before they woke. The instinct that told you to take a different route home, only to learn later there'd been an accident on your usual path. The way a mother could sense her teenager was lying before they'd finished their sentence. Humanity had evolved on a planet that required split-second survival decisions. Predators in the grass, dangerous weather over the horizon, threats that killed you if you waited for certainty. So humans had developed something other species hadn't needed: the ability to feel the shape of the immediate future, to sense probability fields and collapse them into intuition. It wasn't magic. It wasn't supernatural. It was just evolution taking a slightly different path than it had on thousands of other worlds. The Galactic Defense Academy revised its entire combat curriculum. Human instructors were brought in to teach predictive awareness training. Though most aliens could only barely grasp the concept, Maya Reeves became the youngest person ever promoted to senior combat specialist, not for her strength or speed, but for her ability to be where the enemy wouldn't expect. On the day of her promotion, Krell approached her. His scales had lost some of their luster. He was older now, more thoughtful. "I owe you an apology, Specialist Reeves," he said quietly. "I thought your species was unremarkable." "I was wrong." Maya smiled. "You weren't wrong, sir. We are unremarkable. We just learned to listen to what hasn't happened yet." Krell's head tilted, a gesture of respect among his people. "Your species has a saying, I'm told. Trust your gut." "Yes, sir. We have begun teaching it to our cadets, though I suspect they'll never truly understand it the way you do." He paused. "Tell me, specialists, did you know I was going to apologize today?" Maya's smile widened. "About 3 days ago, sir, but I figured I'd let you get there on your own." The Vaxian warrior made a sound that might have been laughter. As he walked away, Maya felt that familiar tug of intuition, that whisper of the knot. Somewhere in the galaxy, a threat was forming, and humanity, with its strange temporal awareness, would be ready. They always were.